And we're here on part 2 of Act 5. I just tried to fall asleep way too early earlier, and so I have, go before I'm sleeping. You know, I never got any messages until before I started recording. The moment I do, I'm just like, party invite, message, just like, come on. It's like you people know when I'm trying to record stuff and just being a pain. So I'm using a shorter layout of this course, and the reason is simply because of, I think this is the layout I'm thinking of anyway. I think this is the layout I'm thinking of anyway. I don't really know yet. I have to get through some of the track for me to know. So the first three cars on the grid were tier 1, so this will be an interesting race finally. I mean, it's kind of, but I don't think there's actually a layout that just skips the edge or nothing else. Well, actually, they took it and they just skipped the part that I actually just like. So, oops. Mortimer is actually just keeping with them. However, that is right behind him, and that won't last. You won't be behind him for too long. Hi, Governor. Okay, no, I made an error, because they're supposed to go to the left there, and they're not supposed to take this, and they are supposed to take the other part, but I don't know if that's even a layout. But I know that's what they do when you do the full version of this track. That includes those roads out in the mountain, or the forest, not the mountains. Mortimer's actually holding that off for the time being, and all this is doing is allowing Alex to catch up to make this a a full-on tier race. Like, all of Tier 1's gonna have to fight over this. It should be amusing if this happens, but I don't know if Alex can get there in time. I don't think Mortimer can keep that behind him too long. No. Now it's just the case of Alex needs to get around Mortimer with the minimum issue. So the professor is the only one out of his position right now as far as like the tier list goes. Yeah, back to the front for a moment. Blossom just starting to create a lead. Alex did not pass Mortimer yet. That is trying to get past Bubbles, which he does rather easy. It's the first corner. It's where you're always supposed to pass someone. And I guess Mortimer is also out of place. He should be behind Alex by the end of the race, and we'll have the full tier list. But, Alex is actually slower than Mortimer right now. Isn't that something? Ryan just passes the governor and pretty much cuts him off at the same time. And Professor is now back down with his, with the rest of his tier out of the points. I'm not sure if Alex can even make the pass on Mortimer to get up with the rest of his tier. Based on the lap times, and the answer is probably a no. That has now made the move on Silhouette. But I do not think he'll be getting Blossom before the end of the race. I don't think he has time. That will get incredibly close, but I'm pretty sure that Blossom is still going to win the race. Mortimer still beats Alex. And given that Mortimer was actually running faster laps, that doesn't really surprise me. Finally, someone else comes across the line in the form of Burn. 12 seconds later. Guess what can you really expect from Alex when you put him in a car that's not of his own to ride? Put him in 16 Angels, basically, and expect him to drive like Alex. Which, again, maybe this just shows just how much of that was the car and not so much the driver. I back out of that again. Why did I do that? There we go, I think I got it all right. Well, silhouette or that I'll probably be winning this race, unless that gets, like, wrecked off the start. Which, I mean, Blossom was kind of doing to him. I didn't want. Yeah, those were what Blossom's best bet was. Just put some of those slower cars in between her and him and herself. I think the main thing to watch for this race would be just how that reacts to having to get around Blossom. Didn't have the time to do it in the first round. Alex and Bubbles have cleared the majority of the traffic already in the first lap. It's basically the same story. The only difference this time is that Governor is out of place and not Mortimer. He's out in 10th. He isn't even. He just cleared the delivery guy now. And he's now caught the Professor being passed by Byrne. I hate when I do that. Ooh! Alright, delivery guy. Is there some sort of behind-the-scenes thing from that XC3 did that we don't ever hear or really see anything about? Is that why Byrne and now the delivery guy, and I think one point it was actually a... Who was it that hit him? Was it that, I think? But XC3 just keeps getting bullied in this series. Yeah, that is much faster, and I'm pretty sure before we even get to the next set of corners after this one, I think that'll be ahead of Blossom. Or at least be on her rear end. No, at least be on her back bumper by the time we get out of the corner, which is precisely what's about to happen. Bubbles still has not cleared the Governor yet. Shouldn't be much longer now, though. These two are still skirmishing around the track, these 70s sports cars. So one would not be wrong in knowing that this would actually be an accurate battle. The 250 GTO would also be a good part of this fight as well. Which is the one that Alex had in Tier 1, but I think that's actually the best of the three. Alright, Professor. Bubbles has now passed the governor. So now we basically do have a tier list once everyone, or no. And once X3 finishes getting around his creator, more or less, we will have the tier list finished. Alright, alright. Okay, you created him. Why are you trying to run him off the road now? What did XT3 do? There it is again. I almost wonder a bit, maybe it's not really them, it's actually 3 just breaks too early. Maybe that's like why he never wins anything, because he always breaks so early. I mean, when he does things like that into a corner though, I don't really know. That's probably the thing he's supposed to do. I can say with relative comfort that... No, actually I cannot say anything with comfort. Because that's a 6 laps, that's not 5 laps. I'm just blind. Well, this I can say with relative comfort that Silhouette's gonna win the race, but no. That's second, or no. Almost 2.5 seconds a lap faster, and that's only a 3-second gap, so... It'll be close, but it's still doable. For that. Especially if this lap is any faster and the Silhouette doesn't run a personal best, he'd probably be already there by the end of the lap. And he's also kind of taking Blossom with him as well. Though I don't think Blossom has as much of a, like, her car is faster, but not by enough to, like, destroy him in one lap. Bubbles is setting lap times like Silhouette, but is still last in the class, though she's getting right next to Alex and might change that within the next lap. I'm gonna go back down the field a little bit. Now let's say, well, this car doesn't exactly blend in with this battle. 1970s Porsche, 1970 something Lamborghini, and now a 1993 Lamborghini. Mazda RX-7 with what I can only assume is a couple of engine upgrades, because an RX-7 definitely can't get to 185 any other time. Yeah, that is definitely right there. So it might have a small bonus, a small advantage in its acceleration, but once we get into 3rd, 4th gear, that is going to track you down. Plus he has better brakes and better handling than you, so really acceleration is all you got. This is going to be the corner to determine the race probably, because everything else from here on isn't really a passing area unless you are really that much faster. And it does not seem like that is that much faster. Bubbles seems like she'll be just short of passing Alex. Mortimer's walking away with 2nd in his class. Ryan just following Burn now. I did that though. I hate when I do that. Mexican might be a part of that too, but he's just been, you know, shall we say, wrecked in this event. Well, it seems the professor is not properly even with the rest of his category here. This car is like a tier 1.7. So by 0.2 of a second, Silhouette wins the race. Governor wins in his class. No, he wasn't the fastest in his class. That would be Mortimer. And Ryan did pass Byrne on that last lap, apparently. I don't like my own handwriting. I can never, like, properly see it. So it's actually close for Tier 2 here. Mortimer is leading the class with 27 points, but then it's a tie for second between Ryan, Storm, and Governor, 26. XT3 is not out of it by any means at 20 points, and then poor Burns only at 15. Delivery guy is second in his class. That's an interesting one there. Wow, I don't think an collapse, and that still hasn't actually passed Silhouette technically. Alright, as we move on to the final round of this episode as well, while during the loading screen, the points for the other two tiers. In Tier 1, that is leading with 30 points. Shadow, second with 24. Bubbles, third on 20. Fourth is Blossom with 18. No, fourth is Alex with 19. That's a 9, not a 0. And yeah, Blossom is last with 18, despite winning a race in this tier and overall. And then for Tier 3, it's also pretty close. It's actually closer. So Fast has 24 points and is leading. No, that's 1. I didn't erase the tip there. Professor is second with 20. The delivery guy is third with 19. Gearhead is fourth with 16, and Madison is last with only 15. Oh, there was it's someone. I don't know who it is. Oh, probably Mortimer, because he's the only one here in a flat white car. Lighting. Hello. Geez, see you later, Blossom. God. Actually, there is Burnley trying to fight back, I guess. I mean, it's supposed just to get around a gearhead. This Burn just takes advantage. Yoink. Yeah, this is Blossom's race to lose for sure. Like, That's what a big gap you've already created there. And that is struggling to even get into the points paying spots. I should probably be commentating, but there's been nothing to commentate over. This hasn't really been a thrilling race, necessarily. Like, this is on, Valwanga levels of just nothing's happening. A lot of them is a county over, friggin'... The only passes are only happening because of, like, tier differences. Like, obviously, if that isn't passing burn, something is wrong. I hate to break it to you there, actually, you're not going to be passing Silhouette. That wasn't part of the deal. You could actually see the sisters battle here, because Bubbles is the fastest car on the road. At least that's what it seems like, but I think that might just be partially because that is stuck in some traffic. And he is no longer in the traffic. Alex is trying to follow through. And follow that to the girls. And Bubbles is trying to follow her sister. That's not quite how you do it, though. So I believe it was a Imola twin mill. I had noticed when he like broke heavily that oh yeah, that's right, I forgot I had like I mentioned like went to Walmart earlier and we ended up finding like a bunch of new cars because it's like Hot Wheels had a 50th anniversary of Hot Wheels stand in the middle of the toys area. And some of the cars in that thing were from like the Fast and the Furious. One of which was a Ford GT40 they used in the 5th movie. So I have a UZ twin mill on my table next to me. Except it's blue, not orange or red. Bubbles has just about reached her sister. Interesting damage there. That. You want to maybe explain where you got that? Oh. One more decided to like slam the brakes to not get cut off, and actually 3 almost took advantage. If his car were not the slowest one in the tier, he probably could have. Oh yeah, Bubbles is there now. A singular lap to go, and Bubbles is, well, I mean, the corner, through the corner, yeah, Bubbles is basically there. Just that Blossom's car is so much more high speed than hers, and that's exactly what you need on this course. But a bit of a scaredy run for Blossom through that corner means Bubbles is closer yet. What will happen here? So Wood is also close to Alex as well. Might want to maybe keep a peripheral vision on that. But these two haven't exactly fought yet, so this is kind of why I'm liking it. So what is, moving out. Second thoughts, moves over. Here we go. Little tap. The acceleration advantage will come in handy there. So what, I think we'll finish that maneuver though. No, maybe not. Not if he does that, that's not helping. Oh, nearly forces Alex off the track, but Alex outruns him. I do believe Blossom shall win the race. Bubbles can try whatever the heck she wants, but... Did she just get that? Oh my god, she got that! Wow! And how about you, Silhouette? Nope. Messed up the corner, so... Mortimer takes the last lap pass on the governor as well. And the professor with yet another class win. Well, that was the race. There was a bit of boredom in the middle, but towards the end, that got crazy. Bubbles took the outside on her sister and won by 1/10 of a second. We'll be having some words in the bedroom later when they get home. Fairly certain. Well, the question that kind of presented here, when they find Buttercup, who's to say the girls won't just fly away? I mean, they could help, but do they really feel like they have to? If you remember, Blossom's primary goal was, where are my sisters? Not, I'm gonna help defeat the guy that brought me here. So while they are of course heroes, they might see fit to do that, but there's also just a part that thinks like, this is not our jurisdiction, let's just go home. My foot's cramped. Ow. Professor with yet another class win. This is getting ridiculous at this point. Gearhead with a decent second place, though. And there we go. All the major changes in the order of the leader, like the order of the drivers here, though. So, oh, I have 16 events since when? So fast, the delivery guy in Madison still have yet to score a point. I actually didn't think Gearhead would have by now. I thought So Fast would have before him. Ugh. I would definitely say it's more than a little one-sided for Tier 3, and I don't know if there's even going to be much racing to do there. With Professor winning like every damn race. For the class anyway. Of course, he's not only really winning anything, he's only gotten 10th once. But looks like the really close one is, the closest one is Tier 2. Because, while it's not an insurmountable lead, that is 7 points ahead of anyone else in his tier either, so. And that'll be it for part 2 of this act. Next will be the Highlands, Barcelona, and, well, now it's called Laguna Seca. I don't know why I was going to change the name. The Mazda Raceway thing is the part that changed.